Welcome to Style Class. Today's gonna be good.
Yeah, we're very excited.
Sarah.
Okay,
I don't know why I laugh. Sarah Brody, the Sarah Brody.
Oh wow.
We're gonna work. Do you like that? No,
I mean,
maybe
I
not.
think a lot of people say call me by my first name.
But they call you by your last two. It's like a thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You broke, or we also make you an adjective, I think.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, whatever.
More on that later.
Yeah, more on that later. So today we're working through the CP scale.
Yep.
Creative to pragmatic, pragmatic to creative.
Yep.
So you have been on Style Class for quite some time. I went back in the archives.
Ooh.
And you were like at the beginning of this like creative pragmatism thing, but you're also styling it and handling it daily.
Yeah.
So how does one really think pragmatically about creative things and creatively about pragmatic things?
That's a good question. I think really they are together. I feel like people are inherently creative. I think that that's why, you have both obviously artists, but lawyers, doctors, kind of running the gamut in terms of your professional life. Like that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't want to be inspired or you're not curious or you're not creative. And I think, on the flip side, everyone wants to live an easier life. Like you don't want to like go through your week struggling. So there is a practicality, I think, is what people also crave. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not gonna say like you can't have one without the other, but like I feel like creative pragmatists obviously strive to have both. Mm-hmm. And I think that is also inherently built into the collections that Tracy and Amy design. Mm-hmm. And I think really in regards to our brand ethos, it really is the way that we think, and everything really does come back to kind of, does it have that balance of mm-hmm. creative and pragmatic?
I feel like creatives get a bad rap, right? But like when we say, oh, we're gonna Brody that, it's like Sarah's so creative. And you are, but I think people want to be seen as more than whatever people silo them as, right? You're highly pragmatic and highly analytical in all things.
For sure. And I think that that's really interesting that you said that, because I think that people often associate, yes, obviously creative,
it's like whimsical and
in that manner, but I do think, even right now, what I'm wearing, this is something that I'd wear literally every single day. Mm-hmm. And I feel that it is very pragmatic, mm-hmm. while also allowing me to think creatively and express. And I do feel like a lot of the time, especially, as a creative at work, I really try to ground myself mm-hmm. more on the pragmatic side of the CP scale, mm-hmm. so that all of my focus really does allow me to
do the work
right into the work versus really what I'm wearing. Yeah. And I think that that's really key to it. And I also think that, yes, there are a lot of creatives that aren't pragmatic and vice versa. But I do think that, like, for me, that's mm-hmm. one of the things that I really strive for is to have both. And I don't necessarily think that creative means over the top and you're wearing every ring on the seat.
But you can.
You can
if you want.
You can, but that doesn't. But I think people often think like 1 ton or none. Oh, ton. Mm-hmm. That really must be everything.
You're a lot of one a lot of times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like you can be a little bit of everything. But I really do think that is, kind of a question that I hear a lot is, well, like, obviously you can do ton, but I can't. But I can't.
Right.
And I think that really, don't sell yourself short, because I really do think that ton to one person is not necessarily ton to another. And I think also color is not the only thing.
Right, it's texture.
We're looking at accessories. We're looking at how you're styling, how you're layering something. Yeah. And really even just how you're wearing a cardigan a different way than what would be like the norm or what's intended. Right. That, I think, pushes someone creatively.
I think this is a good full circle, because if you're watching, you are a creative pragmatist, or you are one and you don't know it yet. And so, this is a muscle that we want you to be able to flex when you want to, right? If Sarah goes out at night and I go out at night, we're likely maybe donning similar things in different ways, because we're going to like push it to the limits and then dial it down. So dialing it up and dialing it down.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk about, so you told me this is what you wore today and this is your vibe completely.
This is my vibe. I could wax poetic about these pants.
I mean,
and I will, because I'm getting giddy because I love them that much. Someone's gonna shout at me if I'm saying this incorrectly. The spring bonded twill Elfie trouser. Wow, there's a silent round of applause back there. And this I'm wearing. They come in short and long. Okay, I'm obviously wearing the short style.
Yeah.
So what I love about these is, and I'm wearing them with a belt, but I'll take the belt off to show you all.
do it.
Oh, the button came off like that. So,
Don't you worry.
Don't you worry.
Wait, but I'm not okay. Wait a minute now. Low slung.
So they sit low slung on me, and keep in mind this is a 00. So I really do think that it's just like pinned a little bit. That is really how
She's pinching out maybe
I'm pinching out
5/8, if that.
Yeah. That is really how they should sit.
Where's your belly button?
Belly button is here.
Right.
So, belly button's here. I love these pants. I love how slouchy they are, but I also love that the leg is lean and streamlined. And I feel like that's something that I've been craving, Amy's been craving, Tracy's been craving. I love how the pant puddles at the bottom. I'm wearing them with our hairy boot, which
that's your go-to.
Literally wear every single day. And I love how it looks with this pant because the pant is so refined. I feel like the chukka boot just makes it a little bit
but also the snap. I feel like the Elfie that we had. So Elfie has been around for a while, and denim, and also in this trouser that had the slit, which is great for a heel or a flat, but it has a snap also.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just walk up here. Yeah. Okay. So the snaps on the bottom here, and on. Don't I've literally worn these nonstop.
Meant to be worn.
So they're meant to be worn. So that's why they look a little crazy. But you're supposed to be able to snap them in different ways. So I often take the bottom snap and.
I was just saying, girl, one time for these skiing skills because you have.
Oh my god!
Now.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, and so I often will snap up one way.
Yeah.
And, wow, I'm gonna really fall over.
This is what style class is for. Just balance.
Versus the other, and I think it just creates a really. There we go.
It's an interesting shape.
You can't really see this, but it really creates an interesting shape. And I think it allows me to commute to work without dragging my pants literally through the mud. So I often will wear them up like that, or if I'm really feeling super slouchy like I was today, I leave them down. I also have them in the green colorway. When I tell you when I love something, I'm
double down.
I'm doubling down on it.
Yeah.
And then I'm wearing it with the ribbed.
So let's talk about this because we
stretch flux.
We both were like, okay, and then you put it on. We're like, oh, okay.
I very literally put this on, and I was like, what top is this?
And I also did that. It has a lot of weight to it actually for a tank. And I know it says stretch, but it's not stretch beyond. I have on a stretchy, the rib, and this has much more give than that. This one has a little hold to it.
I think that's a good comparison. I think also what's good to note here is that this is not sheer at all. Which when I was getting dressed today, I was like, oh, this top is definitely going to be a little bit sheer. Let me think about how I'm going to wear that.
Yeah.
It's not at all. And I think also it's a little bit slouchier than you would typically think of our circular ribbed tanks or
yes, agreed. But so ring 3.
Yep.
This cement color is something that you're not. I say cement. Cement is not how you cement color is something you're not really going to find, but also the sheen. You have on a simple pant and a simple tank, but I see all this richness and depth in your outfit. So
thank you.
You're welcome.
Sure.
So, okay, so you're going to walk us through it, and maybe you've made it more creative with the belt.
Right. So I took off the belt, and that's kind of my foundation. That is my total pragmatic look.
Yeah.
And then I honestly I think this is a few seasons old Valentino belt. It's sold out. You're not going to find it. I'm sorry. But I'm a big belt person. I love our zebra one, our classic menswear belt, which I also have over here, my pile of belts. So I would honestly, if I was just going super, let's say C1, P10. I would probably just do our classic
Simple belt.
menswear belt.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that is like a very sleek, appropriate look, a great foundation for play dinner work as well.
Totally.
Because I think like with the mix of the shoe.
Because your play right now, your play with the shoe kind of, but if you wanted to go to dinner, you throw on a
For
heel.
sure, I for sure. If I wanted to go to dinner, I mean, I'd easily
Mm-hmm.
throw on this heel, call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that like, again, this trouser is really a good foundational piece, and it's something that, yes, we've done the LP trouser before and we've done other slim legs, but I don't think that we have really done it like this.
Yeah, in this fabrication.
And in this fabrication, so it has like a thickness, and I don't want to say a stiffness, but it definitely feels sturdy.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the beauty of our chocolate wool is the lightness.
Right, because it's a 12 more and it's supposed to feel light and also be able to wear it all year long.
Right.
This one you also can wear it all year long, but it just has a little bit of more weight to it.
Exactly. So I think throughout style class today, I'm gonna like put things on.
Yeah.
That, so this was my
This is your foundation
This
piece
is
of
my
shoe.
like, yeah, and then I'm gonna dial it up with some of my other favorite pieces.
I'm gonna jump off soon, but I just want to tell you. So we
walk
talked.
me through your look.
I will. We talked about one-ton none a minute ago, and I was talking to Matt because Matt is my style consultant, and I was like, Matt, what shoe? And he's like, where are you going? I was like, we have taught you well. We have taught you well.
Not 4 years ago is not that.
Yeah, he'd be like, get it out of here. I don't know. But so popping on. So look. I just wanted to go like this. It's like too sexy. But rubbing my hands on my legs. These are so yummy and like suede and good. This
I
is
love that pair.
the Sid and the garment wash, and you can see it has give in it. Like I usually wear a 32, and a 32 is snug for me on a busy day. A busy day full of like snacks, but today I'm feeling good, and I'm wearing this with brown. So this ring, would you say this is a ring? I think this is a ring 3. Would you say it's a ring? Well, no, I had it in my ring 4 category.
I think it's ring 4.
So you know what?
It is kind of bold.
You know what does it though? The suede, the softness of it.
You know what? So maybe
I feel like it is 4, but because it's suede. Because if this were like,
it feels a little bit more saturated because it's suede.
yes. But so wearing this back to this burgundy shoe, so I'm having a red shoe, a blue pant, you know, a brown shirt. If you did this in theory with your eyes closed, you'd be like, I don't think that's gonna work. But it's soothing because they're playing at the same level.
I think soothing was the great adjective to use here because it really does let the eye settle, and I feel like, you know, you've got kind of a similar mix in fabrication with
the twill
shirt and the pant, and then you have a lightness with the ribbed cardigan underneath, and I really feel, you know, like my eye has settled looking at
which
you.
is what once like ton should be like this thing,
Yeah.
right? So I'm gonna jump off and put other stuff on, but my thought was that this is a creative way to do non-color colors for people like, I only do blue, I only do navy. You can wear color that has depth to it
For sure.
and still have one-ton nuts.
For sure.
Okay, I'm gonna jump off.
Okay, cool. So, hey, Sloan.
Guys.
Okay, so,
Oh, let's make sure we tell people if this is in stock in Vienna because it's important.
do we have like this?
Yeah, but we will.
Okay. We will let you know. Okay, so Sloan is wearing our new tropical wool Stella pant and sculpted blazer in the cedar.
Yeah, and the
color.
cedar's like, I don't know if it picks up as well, but I feel like it has a lot of, it almost has like blues and grays like weaved into it, so it works.
It's a melange, so it's
Yeah.
gonna have a lot of different tone within the weave. So today I am gonna dial up Sloan. So we're gonna start at the most pragmatic, least creative end of the CP scale. So what I wanted to note here though is that this blazer alone carries a lot of creativity. So, you know, I really think this is more of like a P8, C2. And I say that because, you know, for one, the sleeve, it has this moon shape. We've done this before. If you've been with us, you know. And it just really adds a sculptural detail. And then the back is its own category. So we're able to style this in a few different ways. So we just have it on the single button right now. But if we wanted to super cinch it, we would go over to the double button over here. And it just creates a different, interesting point that I think carries a lot of the creativity. I think also a lot of people that are pragmatic think that they can't wear color. And that is where I think ring 3 really comes in. So I paired this outfit with this kind of burgundy leather sandal with the gold hardware. And I think that it does really the same thing that a black or dark brown sandal would. I don't think it's disruptive to the outfit, but I think it just like adds just a little something to make it just slightly a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
And then underneath, she's wearing the ribbed tank top in navy. I really do think that, you know, Sloan had mentioned that there's kind of some undertones within the cedar color that can be picked up, and I think that's really what the navy does so well. And then if you'll take the jacket off, I just think that this shape is just so nice in terms of something that is appropriate for a lot of different facets of your life, and I think the high neckline is really great. And then, you know, so this is something now without the blazer. I think you can also
And we were saying last week too that we're using these rib tanks, even though they're mainline. Like this is
a fundamental for sure. And I think fundamental. Obviously, yes, we have categorized it, but I think, you know, when we are calling a tank like this a fundamental, it's because it really does nail exactly what a fundamental should purpose. This is something that you're going to wear for 12 months out of the year. It really grounds an outfit. It's a really strong base layer, and you can really, you know, dial it up, tone it down exactly as you want. So I think here is really where, you know, so Sloan just left work and now she's going after to meet friends. I think this is where I really want her to maximize the usage of this Stella pant and then kind of roll up the bottom. So Amy does this trick all the time where she simply cut off the top of the sock. You too can do it at home. And Sloan is just simply making it into a jogger pant. So what I really love about this styling hack in particular is that, you know, you're getting two for the price of one in a pant, but you don't really have to think about it, and on the go. Now immediately you are a bit more casual, a bit more eased out. You're ready to go hang out with friends. And I feel like it's a different vibe with the same.
Yeah, it almost feels like sportier too with the jogger.
Exactly, and again, I think the sandal, because it's so sturdy and the leather is so rich, it adds that luxe element. Obviously, it's still a tropical wool trouser, so you're gonna have some sort of elevated feel no matter what. But to your point, I think it definitely feels sportier, and you know, I think this is something that is appropriate for someone who's in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. You know, I think the beauty of fundamentals, really the beauty of Tibby, is that it really works across ages.
Yeah. I'm gonna put the shirt on.
So
I'm coming back out.
coming back up.
I don't know why I had to announce that to you.
Oh my god.
Well, because I thought about it, I was like, you know what? This day is not about shaming you on where you are on the CP scale, right? Because there are some girlies that are going to be like, well, I'm going to wear my green, I'm going to wear all my ring fours together, and that is also a vibe. So I had this panel on earlier. We were debating if this is a ring 4. Clearly, we now know. So I'm wearing everything in ring 4. A different type of, get in there, pinky toe. A different type of red. This is like a brighter red, back to blue, back to green. I've taken our resort dress and just taken one little piece and tucked it into my waistband to make a little drape. And I grabbed this from the back because I was like, okay, in this scenario, do I want more or do I want less? And I kind of still want more. So tell me.
So I immediately when you just tucked that in, I think that's such a key trick that like I also do all the time, especially with all of our slip dresses, is I'm always finding a way to like tuck it into the jean or to one of our active knit pants. It just adds a little bit of shape and sculpture and just creates something new that you really didn't even know that you needed.
You could do this with a rubber band too, but like I literally just stuck it basically in my pocket. And so this is like, we could do it Uno reverse too and like swap some things out, but go ahead, talk.
So I think the first thing that I
know it's getting crazy.
Okay, so I just want to talk about color really quickly. So
this is not hitting me.
So I think that this color works better because it picks up on kind of like the bluish undertone that you have with the red and the blues immediately, just from swapping this kind of gray to the, I would say like chocolate, it's called chocolate brown, I know, but it has really more of a burgundy undertone. It immediately just kind of like settled my eye a little bit.
I feel like it grounds it for me because everything else was like exciting and it needed something to bring it down.
Totally.
So give me the color wheel, sorry. So I can totally see what you're saying because that ring 3, it gave it something, but it was like, it's not enough. Like,
Definitely.
we need to really go there if we're going to do ring 4.
Yes, exactly. And so I think, yeah, I think honestly adding this ring 3, and that's what ring 3 is for. And like, it really is for those kind of like in between colors. You're like, okay, well, a black would feel really stark here.
Right.
White would feel too stark.
Yep.
Like,
yeah, black is like, what are we doing? I feel like this became very basic. I was like, oh, wah, wah.
Right. Like, I mean, this pouch serves many purposes.
Right.
In this look, I don't think it's serving you correctly.
No, I do not.
So I think that this Lloyd tote pouch immediately in this ring 3 color just completely changed the vibe.
I'm curious because sometimes these whites, for me, white and like ring 4, they play at the same, and I'm like, that's a lot for me. I don't love it because it gives me a little more church, and maybe because if I had a like strappy, it would be better. It just feels so covered and so mature.
Yeah, and I think that was a really good point. I think also it's just like sometimes the starkness of the white or black with the ring 4 brights, it's just too much, and you really just kind of like don't know where to look, and you almost like aren't like looking away.
We shan't. Anyway, so this is one. So this is me taking. This is still ton.
Yeah.
But taking all of those colors I had on before and kind of taking them to the next level. So if this is you, I would feel this is where on the scale?
I think you're
P3?
I feel like you're at like a P1. I feel like you are creative.
She called me a P1, guys.
I really do think this is like, I really do think this is a way to maximize on color, which as we've determined is not the only way to hit P10, to hit C10 on the scale.
Yeah.
But I think, everyone needs to feel grounded. So even just by switching out that bag color, one muted tone for another, it just really changed everything.
Yeah. Okay. You're right back.
Okay. So here's Sloan back again. Okay. So Sloan is still wearing the same jogger that we created with the sock. I had her put on a pair of Seth sneakers. I think really the great thing about our Seth sneakers or any of our, PVC rain boots like the Mookie or the Tris is that they really are like fundamental footwear.
Right.
And that's, I think, what we call them internally. And so now I am telling everyone. But so immediately I wanted just to create a different look that still felt very true to Sloan, still felt youthful, but not young, and still felt, something that a lot of people would resonate with. I love this top from spring.
I love this top. I want to sleep in it. It's like, feels like jammies. Like it's so.
I love the funnel neck. It also, I'm like looking at it because I know that I have it over here. It also comes in a classic button down shirt. The material is super luxe. It's super lightweight, and it comes in a really like a classic blue as well. But what I really love is that you're getting kind of the traditional button-up collared shirt vibe, a little bit more of a polished look, but the ease of something that is lightweight.
Right.
And so what I really love here on the Sloan is how this looks. And I'm just going to ask you to tuck it in. And then, do we have a red sandal?
We do have a red sandal.
Can we grab? I'm gonna ask Sloan to grab the red lace-up alley sandal because I think another great way to really make this look a little bit more spring. This is gonna get really confusing.
Oh, because we're like, what if we were twins? That would be great. Okay.
Wait, I'm just gonna have her finish.
Yes. That's so funny.
So Sloan's gonna put on the.
Oh my god, it's like us speed dating, but like I sent my representative and I'm like, hey.
I have literally your proxy. I'm like, okay, you're looking back now. So I'm gonna have Sloan put on the red sandal. Do you want to come put the other one on here so the viewers can have a look? So really what I love about the alley sandal is obviously you can wear it like a traditional gladiator, but you can also tie it around the base of a pant, of any pant. This tropical wool Stella pant is obviously what we're using here today. And so now you have a third way
To have a jogger.
to change up this pant. But immediately what I think is different is that obviously the shoe makes it feel less sporty here. And I love it with both. And even you just like rolled up the sleeves a little bit. This for me is like the perfect like, in between seasons outfit. You know, you're still casual, but the sandal immediately, you know, makes me feel spring. It makes me feel just like a little bit more appropriate. You know, I'm gonna give Sloan like a little clutch in this mint green color. This is just a vintage clutch for everyone that's gonna ask. And what I really love is now that we've just brought another color into the mix that works together. And I think really, you know, the green adds a little bit of ring 4, the burgundy and the cedar ring 3, and then I think you get ring 2 with the gray top, and it just really works. And it doesn't feel like it's too casual for work, but it doesn't feel like it's too conservative to, you know, go out with friends. What do you think of this?
I think I love just like the little tying of a sandal around the pant. I think that gives you like just kind of a creative nod, but really still being super practical. Like the Stellas, one of the great thing about them is that they have so much length to them, so they're really easy to tailor depending on height. But even just like with that height, being able to just do a little tie around and give you this kind of ballooned effect, I love that. And I also love when like Amy will do it, I'm sure you've all seen like a sock with the sandal too, to keep it even more like, it's spring technically right now in New York, but still freezing and gross. But if you still want to be wearing your sandals with a sock, like that feels appropriate. And then having this, like this to me is like I'm at work and I have a flight later and I still feel like I can sit in the office and get everything done, and then I'm taking my suitcase to the airport right after.
Right, and you can literally pack that sandal and you're good to go. I feel like oftentimes when I'm looking at something and, you know, deciding whether I'm going to push it more creative or pragmatic, I always end up creating sort of like my carry-on suitcase and with what I'm going to bring. And, you know, that's Amy, you know, will be the first to say she is a packing wizard, and she truly is. But I really do feel like that's kind of how, you know, when I'm thinking about like getting dressed for the week, I tend to wear kind of a thematic idea. So, you know, like you said, if you were getting on a flight later, you simply would swap your shoe, go to the airport. This is a comfortable look, like, you know, put on a big scarf, what have you, and you're good to go. Okay, cool. Now Futura's complete. Futura.
It's size. Okay. So I was curious because even though this is a bright, right? I feel like this is a very pragmatic way to wear this dress just with a heel. You're going to an event. People have asked, like, what do I wear as a mom that's has a kid graduating college, you know, whatever, high school? You can wear this dress, push up the sleeves, call it a day. I really find this to be easy. It's like, you know, I did this to show you the, like, I don't know why. Yeah, I needed to, like, ride a surfboard or a skateboard to show you how drapey it is. But I turned it around. And so we were talking about, like, what does it mean to wear things with a different intention than originally designed? Those that have like busting, like I don't cover up my décolleté. You want to show your décolleté? Turn the dress around, unzip it, give yourself a V-neck, and no one will know. Now, do you need to put things in your pockets? You probably shan't, but if you want to, it's back here.
And you'll just make that work.
And you'll just make it work. And so another thing I wanted to show you is that it's really about the art of play, I think, sliding that scale. You have to be open to doing things. I did this, and I was like, do I want to pin this? I was like, maybe that's one too many. Do I need a kneecap out? Maybe I do.
And I think really that's the beauty. Like, you're doing it in real time, right?
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I don't like that shoe.
Yeah, I don't want to fall.
No, but seriously. So I think, you know, we're kind of showing you the behind the scenes really front row now.
Because I'm like, okay, I have this dress. I have a skirt. Do I want to see if I can wear this with that? You know, I think you just have to play. And sometimes you'll get it. Like maybe right now you're like, girl, that is not it. You look whatever. Or maybe it's like,
however, I really do like the idea of layering a dress under a skirt. I'm like a big cost per wear. How many different ways can I wear something?
Yeah.
And this nylon skirt from Resort is it. If you guys like truly the cinches you can make this shorter, you can make it longer. I've worn it as a dress. I've layered 2, and then they've become like a ball gown.
Right. Easy peasy.
I think this works.
So I
I
find.
think like the chocolate brown with the ostrich print
Right.
adds the texture that you need.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking at my bags. I have like little bags. I thrifted this cute little Cartier bag.
It is really cute.
So I don't know. I don't really need that. I have this Bagoo one too that I like, but
I really do like. Okay, I'm just gonna like. I'm literally
I
gonna
use this
grab
as
this, and I'm like, she's a great evening pouch.
yes,
I really
yes.
do love how this kind of burgundy color with the pleats picks up on the rest of the outfit.
Yeah.
I believe this.
Yes.
If I saw you anywhere, I'd be like, oh, wow,
Right.
that looks really cute.
And I have it's big enough for my cell phone.
It's big
I'm
enough
like,
for the cell phone,
and the keys.
which is really all you need. But
It
again,
is
you're kind of picking up on, again, we're using room 3 in this capacity to ground everything else. And now I think adding just this texture in a very small way immediately just kind of solidified the whole outfit
Yeah.
for me.
Sweet. So I'm gonna pop something else on again, and we're gonna swap. I'll take this out again.
Okay, so
This is supposed to be the cardigan, which we didn't have, so
that's okay.
layered with the tank still, but that lightweight that you can barely even tell.
Yeah. So I wanted to, again, big layering here, and I think that this is definitely pragmatic thing layering, obviously. But what I really wanted to show you guys that this really is not sheer, and it's really, you're not adding any bulk when you're layering it together. And then I'm gonna have Sloan put on the lightweight jersey sleeveless pullover.
We wanted the long sleeve also.
We wanted the long sleeve, but like,
We're being pragmatic.
we're being
making it work.
pragmatic, and that is exactly what we're doing. So I really love how immediately this just went from like, oh God, work to weekend. But no, seriously, I think that again, I'm really all about color math, color matching. I really love how easy this feels. And again, because we've tied up the pant, we've made it a jogger, and it immediately feels less casual. More casual, less work. I believe that you're like running out the door on the weekend, whether you're literally running to the bodega, or you're going to meet friends for lunch, or maybe you're going to a museum. Like, this just feels very practical.
Right.
But I think like the colors feel a little bit more push and a little bit more fun. So I definitely would say this has amped up on the creative scale. I would say this is definitely more like C4. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a C4, C3, C4, P6, P7.
Yeah.
Because I really like the muted tones, and I think I think that makes it really approachable.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we've added like a layering factor in, I think it's a whole new thing. What I really loved about the cardigan, which we don't have, is that I like to show the cardigan just coming out the top a little bit, unbuttoned. I think it's just like such a tiny detail that, at least for me, if I'm the only one noticing, makes a really big difference. But yeah, what are you?
I think that this is believable. When we just like 2 weeks ago came back from Paris, and I felt like my Stellas were my workhorse there, and because they were taking me from appointments in the showroom to running errands to going to dinner with the team, and then on my flight home. So that with the sweatshirt, that feels like, okay, this is packing, this is sitting on an 8-hour flight, and there's so much ease built into these that you don't feel like you're not in a tight pant. Like these are so eased out and so chilled out that you can travel in them. You can exactly that. Like, I can throw these on to go run an errand or go have a quick lunch, and it feels like, I feel like they just kind of are malleable to the occasion. They work with everything.
For sure. And I think, again, all of the, the lightweight material here makes it, again, really easy to layer, especially, at least in New York, the weather is quite unpredictable. So having layers on hand is really great. And so, that's what I think this muscle tee is really good for, because if you weren't wearing the long sleeve and it was just the kind of olive green with the cedar with the burgundy, that would also work.
Yeah, and that's definitely something that would work, I think, in the warmer months. But having just like that extra little layering piece, I don't know, kind of works for me.
Yeah, and I think also like this is somewhere where I would add in like the LL Bean tote
Yeah.
because you are literally, you know, you're going to the farmer's market. You're grabbing a little bit of everything. I think that this immediately adds a different texture, a point of interest, but it doesn't take away, and it's not like it's not overshadowing anything else.
Absolutely.
Cool. Thanks, Sloan. Okay, so before Couture comes back on,
I know. I can give you a
So-
chance to like.
I have over here kind of like a rack of my favorite things.
All right.
Oh, she's back. Okay. What else? Okay, I love this. So first of all, this is like my. We'll come back to this same
I'm
stuff.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I mean, still put it on. I just.
Okay, I'll put it on, and like I just got distracted because like she came to the party.
Do you like how I just like sashayed out like womp
Yeah.
womp? Okay. So
Helped me.
you
I'm
put
gonna
this on.
step off for a moment.
All right, guys, that's the same skirt, and you're probably like, okay, girl, but am I buying two skirts? Maybe you are, or maybe you have one and you need a different one in a different color. Maybe your friend has it and it's the sisterhood of traveling skirts. I don't know. I just know that when you put them together, it looks really good. And we've had dresses that feel very evening or more evening in this ring 3, but there's something about it that you show up and you're like, I showed up, you know, I showed up. Tell me the grammar. I came. I came, but I didn't want to come.
Okay, huge fan.
Okay.
Huge.
So now we're at an event.
Now we're in an event. Seriously, like this to me,
Did I
this
take your words away?
I was not you guys, I was not expecting this. She went rogue. No, I'm just kidding. No, it looked
Because I was just trying stuff. I was
no, it looked so good. I'm like so happy. I really, again, this skirt, and it is just, like, it's a skirt. This is the nylon and midi skirt in the olive green.
What's this? There we have no one.
It also, so again, it has the elastic underneath, which
Yes.
is how Couture has created this kind of like bubbling.
Yes, because I put it on, I was like, it's not doing what I want, but you have to play, right?
You have to play with
You
it.
have to play.
And I really do think that that is the beauty of this. So when I was saying like, oh, I wear one as like a mini dress and two as like an evening look, this is exactly how. This nylon skirt to me, you know, really does it all.
It really does. And the fact that we have it in black too, for me, it's like, it's the pull-on skirt. When I came, that's all I really wore was the pull-on nylon skirt. But this has that. It's like dimension, versatility, cost per wear down. You can dress it up, dress it down. No one would know that I'd probably wear this also at the playground with my daughter.
Right, exactly.
And to your gala, invite me, right? So
Exactly. And I think the beauty of this is that, like, you know, I think sometimes, depending on your bust size, you know, things, especially if they have, you know, a static waist, it's harder to work out. But the beauty of this is that it's elastic. So, you know, really, it works for you.
I just took my bust straps and I tucked them under, right? So if you wear you have a larger bust like myself, just take those puppies and secure them and you're good to go. All right, last thing I wanted to show you. I started to put this on my arms as a cardigan, and I was like, no, that for me, that's a little too much. I would want this color not on the body, but on, got crazy for a second, not on the body, but on as a bag. But this, if you're like somebody that's like, I'm wild and crazy, and this doesn't do it, you can totally just go here. So this could be
And
this.
now it's a bolero. Wow, mine.
Mind blown. All right. Gotta go.
Guys, I hope go buy that outfit. I'm going to. Okay, so I'm going to quickly talk about this tank top. This is our lambskin leather tank from spring. I am wearing it layered, and honestly, I love it layered. I also just wanted to show you guys the difference in the neckline here. But this to me is something that I, you know, would also wear to work. I feel like we have a lot of creative freedom in our office, but I think again, something that I'm then gonna put on a heel with. I love the idea of this gray. I think that these two colors kind of work and kind of don't, and that's what I love about it. So then I really do feel like immediately, if I just slipped this on, I'm just gonna show the people, like that for me creates a very lean and approachable line. Matt's gonna yell at me. I'm gonna put the other shoe on.
I'm so impressed by your balance today.
Thank you. I'm gonna say it's skiing and Pilates, but it's absolutely not. Okay, so for me, this is absolutely something that I'm wearing out, or I'm wearing, to work. I can also wear it on the weekend. I love something that serves many purposes. I'm going to talk about this top for a second. This is so lightweight. I would wear this with our basketball, like our active basketball shorts. Again, I really love styling in a way that feels unexpected but so easy to wear. And this tank top really serves that purpose, but it's so luxe and so elevated. So I think no matter how you wear it, you're going to feel more refined and polished. So I'm gonna have Sloan come back on in the pant. I'm gonna ask her to tuck in the pant to this boot. So these boots are from La Hacienda Boot Company in Austin, I believe. We got them a few seasons ago and we use them all the time. I love a cowboy boot. I love anything. I think anyone who knows me knows I love like anything Western. And so I really wanted to show how you can tuck these pants into a boot in a way that feels cool and approachable. I'm just gonna ask you to unbutton that a little bit. And then I'm gonna have you set the blazer back on. Two buttons. So I think also when I'm thinking about, kind of what to wear in a more traditional or conservative workplace, I think a lot of people get stumped with footwear. And listen, I'm not saying like go violate your dress code by any means, but I do think that there's something like very sleek. I'm just gonna button this to see. This is the first time I'm seeing how this looks, but I do think that there's something super sleek about taking the traditional, workwear idea and turning it on its head. And so for me, I just feel like this is just a new vibe. I mean, like it's still serving the same purpose, but the shoe just made it a little bit more fun, a little bit more casual. What are and this is definitely more like, cowboy boots are not for the faint of heart. So this immediately, you just went to, I think C7.
Yeah. Well, I love a cowboy boot. I'm from
she's
Texas.
from Texas. I'm like,
so this feels like homey to me. Our Dean boot, our Croc Dean boot from a couple years ago is my most worn shoe, and all throughout the year. I wear it to work, I wear it out, I wear it to run around. So I love a cowboy boot, and I love it with something like a trouser. It kind of gives me that creative edge, but to me still feels like in my wheelhouse, in comfortable and in my realm. I also just love having the tuck, because I think that gives it this creative detail as well. And I think too, just having it back to this full suiting is exactly how Sarah said, this is just flipping suiting on its head, but making it feel really fresh and I don't know, still very creative, but I feel you're covered, you're appropriate. And I think too, outside of the workplace, this is something that if you just wear it with the cardigan and then maybe a belt and an earring, then you're still kind of getting those, hitting all those creative points without going too far out of your wheelhouse. So for me, a cowboy boot is something that I have in my wardrobe. I have Dean boots, I have Lucchese's, I have something that, and I feel inspired now to go play in my closet and dress them up.
So we're gonna play with this iteration a little bit. So I'm gonna have you take the jacket off, and then Natalie is grabbing the gray long sleeve, but for now just put this sweatshirt on. So I wanted to also show you guys how to incorporate color here, how to incorporate something that feels even more casual, which, I think our lightweight sweatshirting just really serves every purpose in terms of immediately when I want to dial something down without losing that creativity, this is how. And I mentioned before, I really love the idea that having this little button just popping out the top. And I know it's such a small detail, but for me, it just immediately adds something. It's almost like a Henley.
Yeah. That is smart.
So I feel like now you're just a little bit more casual, a little bit cooler, just in terms of like, I think this is youthful, but again, not young by any means. And I feel like this is something that is definitely like you're hitting C9 now. I definitely like you've just done a suit pant, a cowboy boot, a cardigan, a red sweatshirt. Maybe now, you know, she's adding she's running to the bodega. That's her wallet. Again, I just wanted to show you guys, like, you know, there is a way to maximize in the number of the number of pieces in an outfit, but you need to be careful. I think also, like, if we used, again, the burgundy Lloyd tote here, now I feel like you are going to dinner.
Yeah. And this is something like I would wear this to dinner. I think also having like just the little poking out here, that layering, I think that adds that kind of other push of creativity. And I think too, like if this is something, the boots tucked into the suit pant that feels maybe overwhelming.
Yeah.
I think you can also just have it where you're just seeing the toe of it and you get that kind of nod without having to lean fully into it.
I totally agree with that. I mean, I also I just love a strong toe in a boot. I think like Sloan said, even the tiniest bit just adds a little bit of interest, a little bit of gumption that I think you're not going to get. I think also, you guys can't see, but there's the croc detail or alligator detail on this boot is really nice. I think it serves the same purpose really as, you know, the embossed ostrich detail. It's so subtle, but it speaks volumes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is my like most pushed iteration for you.
I love it. Thank you.
Okay, so I've talked about this leather tank top. The other thing I'm gonna show you guys is how I really am dialing this up. So I mentioned I really love this shirt, and I really do. So again, I'm just putting this on over the rib tank I'm already wearing. What I love to do is unbutton it kind of to your navel and then tuck it in. I think that it just adds a little polish. You know, we already discussed that this shirt is super lightweight, super malleable. So I think depending on how you're wearing it and where you're wearing it, it can be whatever you want it to be. So I'm tucking it in immediately. And I think now, just by adding a layer, I've created just a little bit more interest, a little bit more fun. Oh, she's packing a poke. Guys, I feel like every time I'm like, welcome to the stage. So immediately, like, this added layer just amped it up a little bit. I still think that the color is a little muted. So if I wanted to, again, listen, I could wax poetic on this sweatshirt too.
Oh, me too.
The lightweight sweatshirting in any color. Black, white, red, olive green. I seriously have them all. I love them.
I love this layered, Sarah. Something about it layered and like falling back and like blousoning. It's so feminine, but also like.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. It's like, you know, if someone said no one would be like, wow, Sarah, she's super feminine. But I do think that like there are little details that, when pushed the right way, you know, create that kind of like persona.
Necklace.
Yeah, and like again,
it's all the details.
Necklace. And so here, you know, this is something that, of course, I'm gonna wear over my shoulders. Now I've just added a little bit of red. Like this is my. So while this I think would be like super pushed and super creative, and it is, I think, you know, beauty in the eye of the beholder. I think that this is something that I feel very comfortable wearing every single day.
Yeah.
I think also, you know, again, the idea of layering here. So I love, you know, using, that's what I really think that these lightweight shirts from spring are so good for, is because they can be layered really easily without adding a lot of bulk.
Totally.
So now I'm gonna.
And they're playing at this similar level because we talked about that earlier. The gray plus the red plus the cement. Even though we know it's a ring 4, but it's like muted. I really like this with the shirt under it because wearing a white shirt here would be so crisp. It's so spot on when it comes to like classics. You know, it's just got your back.
Thanks.
I put the collar. I'm not a collar up girl, and I don't mind it in the gray because I like it.
So I like kind of am a
Love.
color out person.
I know.
So this, because I'm like take any trope and just maximize it, right?
Yeah.
So I think here, again, to Couture's point, you know, a classic white Oxford or even a light blue one might feel too stiff, but I really do think it's the, you know, how malleable this shirt is matched with the dark charcoal gray that really does it for me. And now, and again, I really like it with the light. Guys, I'm gonna now, this light gray this is now really stuck in
It's
my
not
head.
new because you are not gray, but
Guys, this light gray, it's the new black. No, it really is.
It's a good one.
It's a really good shoe that I think kind of works for any outfit in terms of it really takes on like the color, the tonality.
It's like a chameleon in many ways.
Exactly. So this is, yeah. Okay.
You got me thinking. I have the sweatshirt in the summer, like.
So now I'm just like gonna wear this outfit.
I'm very inspired. Okay, so I just popped this on. This is something that I've loved from Resort for quite some time. From a distance, it kind of fell flat, but I liked how modest it is and unexpected. These are two different textures that I wouldn't normally put together, but if I'm like, you know what? I gotta meet my mother-in-law for lunch and I don't want my tatas out, or, you know, or maybe it's a day to night situation.
Totally.
And the only thing I want to do is probably tuck up the shirt so you can't see the difference between the two, where it ends or begins. But I really like seeing the sharpness of like my haircut with this clothes and then the more masculine toe.
For sure.
Yeah. Just curious because this is a high contrast, but I just want to see like where would this take me? Is this too conservative? Is this too?
I feel like with
It's
the white
too-
shirt underneath, it's too.
I want a different shoe. Yeah.
But I feel like I really do love black and white and the polka dot. And I think even if you just added like a classic, all of my stuff is so picture, sandal, which we don't have over here.
What about you think the green or no? No, because if it's warm enough for me to have a shirt under it and also a jacket,
Yeah.
I think it's not a time I would probably have my toes out.
I feel like there's too much texture.
Yeah. But see,
I
but this is what happens in the closet because I'm like,
But I really do like I like the egger.
Yeah.
Maybe it's too sharp. Maybe it's like you need the Brody and
Yeah.
the crack. In the croc, I think that the square toe
oh my
has
god.
kind of changed it up a little bit.
But this is also a maximal, like, because it's like croc texture here, texture
I mean,
there, so it's like ton.
This is 10, exactly. So that's again kind of the point is that
Obsessed.
you're not doing ton doesn't mean a ton
I
of
actually
color.
like seeing like leg, not, you know, it's like we don't have it here, but we
Yeah.
can give you here.
I
Okay.
think that works.
Cool. BRB.
So Sloan is coming back up. Okay. So, you know, Sloan is now wearing the Patchwork Fisher jean in black. You guys, this jean does it all, really. It's the perfect leg that's, you know, a little bit loose, but still tapered. I think that it hits on you where, like,
So this is a 27. I would normally take a 26. So it's sitting a little
bit
lower than I would normally wear, but I think if I was wearing a 26, it'd sit right about here.
Yeah.
It also has the adjustable back here too, so that it does.
That's what this is for.
Yep.
Okay, let's pretend.
Yeah.
We're gonna pretend that wasn't really hard. So, you know, I paired it here with the poplin. Oh God.
Eco
The
poplin,
eco-
square neck crop top.
crop top in black, and you know, obviously, you know, we've showed this with the matching midi skirt that's very voluminous, but you know, again, I'm all about breaking things apart and showing you how you can really maximize. So I think this is something that, again, it's an all black outfit, but it has so much personality.
Absolutely.
And I think it's a really, really sleek way to, you know, go from kind of like the weekend with a sneaker to a night out with friends.
Yeah.
I think, you know, this jean goes back just as well to a white button down or any sort of button down. So, for example, this, another one of those lightweight spring button downs. This has the kind of tuxedo detailing. I'm gonna have you go put this on to show the people. So I'm gonna utilize this time to. Oh no,
Nope.
Couture,
No.
Couture, come back because I'm gonna go put on the other dress.
Okay,
Like,
I can hold this
the
down
resist-
for us.
The piece resistance.
So I'm in the mid of my closet change right now, like at home for spring and also in this exact moment. So when I came out, this is you seeing me work through in real time, like, okay, do I want to wear this together or not? Not into it for other reasons. But what I want to show you is last week I wore the leather short in the longer length. There's a time and a place also for this shorter length. And I know that I would wear this kicking around with my daughter in the summertime, maybe with a more grounded sandal. If I were on vacation, we are going to be in LA soon. So in LA, wearing a leather short is just a short. If I'm going to invest in a short, why not have something that has a little bit of texture in it? And I'm wearing it back to such an easy shirt. You saw I just did a little, because it was close to the same length. I could do a tuck here, and voila. I could wear it with a heel, but I also feel like flat is good. What do you think, Natalie?
I think flat's good. This is like you're going on vacation, but you're not on like, you know, you're not wearing like the tourist t-shirt with.
Yeah, this can be
tourist vibe, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a time and place for the tourist tee, but if I want to look refined and dressed down, like off duty, but on, right?
Because you could be in Hawaii or you could be in Europe, and you could fit in both locations.
Yes, I shall be in Hawaii. Sending love to our Hawaiian friends who had a big storm. I hope everybody in Honolulu and Oahu are okay. But yeah, so I feel that this feels very pragmatic for me, but in the best way. Like, I'm sure some of the daycare moms, the school moms wouldn't think this is pragmatic to like show up in leather shorts, but other people, this might not feel, you know, bad at all. Anyway, all right, Sloan, you want to walk them through what you're wearing?
Yeah.
So pop this on.
I just put on the tuxedo shirt here with the twill Fisher jean, the pant, I guess, because it's in black. And it has all that good detail that we've done before and we all love. And I just feel like I can't stress enough the weight of this material. Like, it really feels, it's so lightweight, but then also still feels really, really refined. And then I just have it too with the sculpted jacket here.
So I really, again, wanted to speak to the idea that, you know, these are traditionally more conservative colors, but nothing about the shape or the fabric or the combination makes it feel conservative. So I think like the sculpted sleeve here, so this is the same material as the pant that I've been wearing, and it has the same kind of sleeve detail that the blazer that Sloan had on earlier had. I think this is just a really interesting way to do like jeans and a button down. I think, you know, everyone's kind of like going nuts for Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, like they've just discovered her. You know, I still think that, yes, obviously we pay attention to trends, but we don't necessarily subscribe to them. And I think this feels still very much like in your wheelhouse without being so like loud color wise.
Absolutely. And I think for that like jeans button down, the Carolyn Bessette, Amy and I talked about this, that like you can put it all on, you can not wear your jewelry, you know, whatever, but you're not Carolyn Bessette. So this still gives that nod to the creative, like, that I want and that I crave, but still feeling like you're never going to get sick of a button down. So this is just a modern, elevated take on it with the stripe and the tuxedo detailing.
It has that built-in detailing, makes it so easy, and you really don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Cool. The last thing that I will talk about is save the best for last, the piece de resistance.
I'm coming to talk about it on you.
Oh,
because I love it.
Is the leather in chocolate brown hoop dress. I'm gonna do a little twirl so you can see the back.
Stay there. You got a good back, girl. That deep back is so beautiful in this leather. It's super soft.
You guys, this is the first thing I tried on, like, I don't, however many months ago.
Right.
In the collection. So also to clarify, this is my size. This is a 00.
Yeah. And it's still sitting away from the body as it should.
Still sitting away from the body as it should.
I feel like I'm like speechless because it's a shift. I mean, I don't know if it's a shift by definition.
I'm going to take off the pant, but I just wanted to show you guys with the pant because I feel like a lot of people, when they think like leather, mini, all of these, they think a lot and they think like, how am I going to wear that? I can only wear it one way. Guys.
Right now it's a tunic.
Right now it can be a tunic on you too.
Right.
Seriously. Listen, like, yeah, I probably would wear this to the office, but I really love
I really love it too. I love it. I love seeing it sit away from your body. I
Yeah.
think ease is something that I think every person,
I'm just like, wow, I love
because I think seeing it not like, you could wear a mini, right? You
Yeah.
can fit a lot of things, but do you always want something close? That's a
No.
whole different dress.
No.
But when you
Totally.
open that up and it sits away, and this hoop has intimidated people, you think that it's Judy Jetson, but in actuality, it's just something. You have boning in your corsets, right? You have
Yeah.
whatever those things are in your bra. You have things that help give shape to all of your garments, and just treat this hoop as that.
It's not, guys, it's very malleable. It
Yeah.
collapses, it folds, and don't be afraid to do that. Again, like, this is something that you shouldn't be afraid to try, because I think that you will be pleasantly surprised. I think that the chocolate brown, there's so many things that make this so interesting, beyond the color, the lightweight leather,
How it's sewn at the edges and it's raw cut. Like, it's all the
and I
details
think
really
also,
matter.
you know, we talk about sexiness a lot here, and for me, that is like exactly what this back detail is.
I'm also gonna say it, like, dresses like this don't always look sexy because they can look a little juvenile,
Yes.
right? So it's like, you don't want to look like Miss Mary Matt because you
No.
have on something that has a little scoop. Scooping that out just so, it gives it a sexiness, even at the side.
Yeah.
It's good.
All right, I'm gonna
Show
take
us no
I'm
pants.
gonna take
Take your pants off. Speaking to what she said, like, I threw on my sets and I threw on the quilted sweatshirt. And you know what, guys? For off duty, I'm feeling like a cutie because who am I to not wear textured things when I'm hanging out with family or friends or my daughter? And it just gives a level of richness, but also dimension and versatility to my closet. If I were gonna get this and wear it to work, I need it to work for me also on the weekends. If I'm gonna get this because I'm like, oh, I want leather shorts, I'm gonna wear the everything out of these shorts. That was not a curse word, because I want to get my most wear out of it, right? Cost per wear, I wear these twice. It splits that cost in half, or what I paid for it, the investment. I wear it 4 times. I've likely gotten my money back, so it's really, really good. And this has, if you look, I am 5'8". I do have like a thin ankle, thanks to my mama. I feel comfortable in shorter things, but I feel comfortable mostly in shorts because of where they hit. So this, I believe it's either a 2 or 3 inch inseam, but we also have a longer rise, right? So this rise, if it were, you know, short, this would probably be cutting me, and this will become a coochie cutter. Can't believe I said coochie cutter. You know what I mean. And it wouldn't be good. It would be biting in all the wrong places. And now that I have that long rise, I can go a lot of places with it. So I just said coochie cutter. Well, carrot stick, as Amy says it. Okay.
Okay, so
Sarah.
for me, I'm just gonna
You're even walking different. You're like a whole different, you're like,
I'm just gonna say for me,
Mhm.
would wear like a very sky high heel,
I know, I'm like, give her the tallest.
because that is just like that is, you know, where I'm gonna push something.
Mhm.
That said, I really do love the idea of a chocolate brown.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this one has the Australian gossip print here.
Mhm.
I think that this feels super sleek.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to show you guys very quickly
Oh, yeah.
with this sandal for like, again, so for me, this is such a good way to do evening.
Mm-hmm. So talk to me about this, because a friend of mine went somewhere, and I love you. If you're watching, don't come for me. But she wore a heel with a dress, and I was like, you don't need that heel. And she was like, no, but I need this heel. I was like, you don't need that heel. Because there's something about dressing for the occasion, but kind of being like, you know what, but I'm comfortable, and you're really, like,
Yeah,
you're struggling.
for me,
You look, this is rich.
This
To me,
for
this
me-
is more like, get that out of here.
yeah, this for me feels so luxe. I definitely feel like an individual. Obviously, that dress was already doing it for me, but
Yeah.
I really do feel like this shoe with all of the detail and the sequin and the beading, and you guys, it really is amazing.
Yeah.
Just adds the right amount of embellishment to really elevate and take this look to kind of that next level, where I do feel like I could go to a wedding. I do feel like I could still go out in New York City on a Saturday night.
Mhm.
I'm also, again, like I said, that I would wear a very sky high heel with this.
Mhm.
I'm also not afraid to wear
A
a
flat.
really, like a flat that has personality.
Yeah.
And for me, that's what I need as someone who definitely leans in the more creative side.
Mhm.
But, you know, again, I do think a brogue works here very nicely as well.
Mhm. So I have invested in a lot of these studded things. I have a purse over here I'm just going to show. Now, granted, don't ask me where I got it from. I got it somewhere. Doesn't matter. This is not the point. I'm doing a comparison of why this is better than that for me in many ways.
Mhm.
So the studded shoes that exist, right?
Mhm.
It does speak to a certain time and place. This is encrusted,
Mhm.
and so it just like I can't call it on where this existed, like
Mhm.
in terms of trend. Do you agree or no?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's
Your option.
I think it's like always been subtly woven into kind of like an early 2000s kind of vibe, but I think this is a really, you know, elevated 2026 version
Right.
of that.
I agree.
And I really do think, you know, the craftsmanship here is
Oh.
also really key. You know, it's one thing to have a sequin shoe, it's another thing to have like a hand embellished beaded shoe.
Mhm.
And that's really the difference here, and you can see that quality.
And these two exist. It's funny. I personally have this one, but when I put this on, I was like, but this gives me something too. So there's something for everyone. Do you have anything else you want to?
No, I'm like keep looking. I'm like, what else is there?
I have something else too. What about Sloan?
No, I'm done.
All right.
We're also at 12:10.
Okay. So I feel like we talked about a lot. So to I should put another shoe on, but to bring it full circle. In order to slide this, we're either going to do a shoe or we're not. 1 second, I can't speak with one shoe. To slide the CP scale, you really have to commit to an openness to play, right?
Exactly, and I think we just kind of did it for you live right here.
Yeah.
And so you can do it in the comfort of your own home or
At our
dressing
store.
room at the Tiffy store
Or in LA when we come to LA.
or in Vienna at any time.
Yes, so speaking to Vienna, when we show these products to you, you know, I'm just telling you, Vienna has this in stock also, so you should really stop by. Yasmin has something really special in that she has the full collection available for you, right? And it's a very beautiful space, and it's curated towards your Tiffy needs.
Yeah, I mean, it is our permanent space in the EU, so we highly suggest that everyone go there. And Amy will be coming just in a few short weeks, so stay tuned for more there as well.
Yes, and we have London, so we kind of hit Matt's coming. Matt, come here. Oh, I thought you had on Tiffy.
Matt's
Okay.
like giving the like last call.
Wrap it up.
Okay, so again, play with your clothes, and I think you know what is again like super creative to you might not be to someone else, but it's really like your opinion that matters.
It is. However you get there is up to you. Cool. All right.
New Almost Reckless episode?
Oh, so there's a new Almost Reckless episode, and
Liz too.
so,
Oh,
oh my
Liz
God,
Taylor.
Liz. So we love Liz. Liz is not only a client, she's the player president. She really is like the most amazing person. She is the CCO of Ogilvy.
Chief Global Creative Officer
Right.
at Ogilvy,
Yeah.
and with a name like Elizabeth Taylor.
So the other Liz Taylor.
The other Liz Taylor.
Yeah.
Guys, it's an amazing episode. We can't wait for you to listen.
Yeah. All right.